Hey everyone, I'm George, and my wife Patty is right there back behind the camera. Say hey, Patty.
Hey, Patty.
Ah, there she goes. Anyway, we are here again today to show you our new super duper cool Napier Outdoors Sports SUV tent. And because we like to spread out a little bit when we camp, we opted for the version with the screen room. So we're going to set that thing up today and show you a little bit about it. We're going to get this thing unpacked here, just like all the other Napier products. It's a really good, sturdy, well-made bag. Um, and I will add, we've tent camped a lot. We've owned a lot of tents, and this one I think is a 10 by 10 footprint. We've owned 10 by 10 tents before, and none of them have been this heavy. So I'm guessing this thing is pretty substantially built. So we're going to see. You open it up, get it unzipped. You're going to find all kind of neat goodies in here. You're going to have some hardware, some stakes. I believe that's going to be your gear loft that goes inside. Set those to the side. Some paperwork. It's going to be your rain fly. You're going to need that after a while. Then you got your tent. I will add that every Napier product that we've ever had, the instructions, you're not going to lose them unless you lose the bag. The instructions are on this really thick, heavy kind of vinyl material, and they're stitched to the bag. So you need to get a quick reference as far as how to do something, or information about the different parts, or troubleshooting, what have you. It's all right here. It's very convenient. I'm going to get this out. This is a tent. Everything's kind of rolled up inside of it. Get that bag over to the side. Got your straps here that secure the roll, gets everything kind of held together for putting back in the bag. Gonna get those out of the way. And we're gonna spread this thing out. We're gonna get it ready to set up. Now that we've got everything unrolled and separated out, we spread the tent out. It's basically the footprint of it square. I will note that on one side of the tent, you have this elastic area. That's your vehicle sleeve. That's the part that's going to actually attach to your vehicle. So always have it facing the back of the vehicle. Also noted, your tent poles are going to come in this bag. They're all cinched up nice, all put together. When you start unpacking the tent poles, you're going to notice there are different colors, different materials, different lengths. You're going to have all of those. You're just going to get those out and put those together and group them together according to the colors, materials, and lengths. If you've never assembled a tent pole before, they're really easy. These tent poles are basically, they're fiberglass and metal. They have this stretchy shot cord inside, and all you do is just unfold it, and you can see how it's flexible. They just basically slide together like so. You just assembled a tent pole. After you get your tent set up and get all your poles assembled and spread out and kind of grouped together, you're going to notice in the center of your tent, you've got this plastic piece here. This is your center hub. And this hub was going to align with these blue sleeves. Your poles here for your roof are going to slide through these sleeves. All you're going to do is just take your short, there's 4 of these, they're short gray poles. You're just going to slide these right through there. You're going to make sure this is straight. You're going to assemble that. And then you're going to notice further down, you have a corner joint that's made out of the same material as that center hub. You're just going to take that, it's kind of stretchy material. You're going to insert that pole there, and that's going to be part of the framing of your roof. We're going to go ahead and get the rest of this put together, and I'll be back in just a second. We have those 4 fiberglass poles put in, and you can see the roof is starting to take shape. That's the framing of the roof. All the poles go into that center hub and then subsequently attach in each of those corner joints. That's your roof. You're going to take these steel black poles next. They assemble the same way. You're going to notice on these, however, There is a flat end, and there's an end with a little metal tip. That tip's going to go down. I'm going to show you where that goes in just a minute. What you're going to do is on each of these four corners, take that corner joint, you're going to insert that in there, and then right here on the corner, we'll show you in a minute, you've got these holes, these little grommets in your strap. That's where that little point's going to go. And this is going to be your side wall supports. We're going to go ahead and get these done. We will show you that where that grommet is in just a minute. On these side wall poles, what I was talking about, where you have this point on this particular corner, you've got two grommets. You are going to want to use that one that's closest to the tent, but you're going to put that hole in that joint up top. It's a little snug, but you're going to put that in there. That's going to be your wall support. And once you get those wall supports, those poles in, and then down at the bottom, you're going to notice there are a couple of clips that are attached to the tent. You're going to go ahead and take those and put those around the pole. It's going to give it some added support. Just snaps in place like so, and like so. Now that we have our four corners up, starting to take shape a little more now, you're going to come over to the screen room side. You're going to grab your other gray fiberglass pole, and there's a sleeve right over the top of the door. You're going to insert that. You've got another one of these corners here, either side. You're going to insert. And that's the top frame of your screen room. Then you're going to grab these blue steel poles, and you have the same setup as you did on the walls here. Slide that into place. And then you're going to have these grommets down here. These are the outer grommets. You're going to do the same thing as you did before. Stick that pole right down in there. We're going to do that to the other side. Now that we got the screen room put up, we got everything ready to go, it is time to move our tent in place. By this time, the exhaust on your vehicle should be cooled off. You're going to want to reach under there and make sure that it's nice and cool. If not, it will melt this material. This can be done with one person. It's easier with two. You're going to take this elastic sleeve that we have here, and you're actually going to take and move the tent over. And you're going to situate this up and over the top of the lift gate. Now you have your vehicle sleeve stretched over top of the lift gate. You're going to notice right up here, you've got a couple of straps. You're going to have a set on either side. These straps are going to go right around this roof rack here. It's going to stretch it, and you'll see how they just snap together like so. This is going to hold the tent nice and tight up against the vehicle. I'm going to tuck all of this in. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're also going to have a couple of straps that's going to secure this to the bottom of the bumper of the vehicle. We're going to go inside and do that next. Right here, you got a clip and the strap coming off. This is your wheel well strap. Now, we don't have a good solid lip like a metal lip here. It's all plastic trim. So what we're going to do, we're going to cheat a little bit and go right inside here, and there's a plastic piece, the fender liner, and we're just going to attach it there and then snug that down, basically just to keep the wind from moving it around too much. And also, this strap is going to be used to kind of cinch everything up, make it nice and snug, get you a pretty good seal around it for, bugs and stuff. Now that's done, we're going to go inside and we're going to get this thing finished attaching it to the back of the Subaru. Now we're back inside. You're going to notice inside on the bottom part of the vehicle sleeve, you have three straps. These straps have little hooks on them. I'm going to show you where these hooks go. This one in the middle is going to attach right here to where your lift gate latch is. Going to snap that in there. You're just going to snug it. Keep that nice and tight up against the bumper. On these side ones here, you're going to notice right here, you've got these different gear tie downs or whatever. You're just going to attach this over here and then snug it down right here, just like so. We did realize something about those three straps that attach the vehicle sleeve to the vehicle, to the bumper. Our Subaru has been lifted, so just keep in mind these straps wouldn't reach around there to these gear tie downs. So what we had to do, we improvised a little bit and we attached all three to the latch there on the lift gate. So now everything's nice and secure and held in place the way it should be. Now that we got those straps attached to the lift gate latch and got everything nice and snug, we went ahead and staked down each of the corners of the tent. We just got the stakes out of the bag and just every one, we just kind of pulled everything kind of snug, staked the corners, and we went ahead and set the screen room the rest of the way up. And it's just a matter of adding your stakes on the corners there. After you got everything staked down, next you're going to grab your rain fly. You're going to spread it on the ground back behind the vehicle. You'll notice it's kind of got a arch in it. That side is marked vehicle side. You're going to drag this up, and then this is where two people come in handy. You're going to drag this up and over top, and you're going to attach the rain fly to the tent. Now, once you have your rain fly in place, you're going to notice it's kind of a pocket, for a lack of a better word. It's going to kind of fit right there over that joint. I'm just going to bring this down. Right here, you've got a little buckle that goes right down here at the bottom by your tent poles. You're just going to snap that in place. Then you're going to notice, there it is. There's a little Velcro strap here. You're just going to put that around the pole. Velcro that in place just to kind of give it a little extra support. Now on the screen room portion of it, your rain fly is going to tuck right over top here. You're going to have these attachment points. They're going to actually come over here. This is your guy wires to kind of get everything nice and snug. You're going to notice these elastic bands with these hooks on your ropes, or correction, on your poles here. You got these hooks. I'm just going to hook that right there. I'm just going to attach, kind of pull everything together to keep the wind from whipping you around too much. Do that on both sides. Now that we've got these straps, everything's secure all the way around this rain fly. You've got these guy wires. They're basically a paracord. You're going to grab your stakes. You're going to come out here and you're just going to stake it off. You're going to do that every one of these corners. You're going to see these tie-offs. You're just going to do this. It's kind of come out from the tent, a 45-degree angle, and get everything kind of snugged up. That'll keep the wind from blowing it around on you. On the very back of the tent, you're going to have a big flap. It looks like a big door. It's going to have a zipper on either side. You're going to unzip that, and what this is your awning. It's going to give you some shade. You're going to, once you get it unzipped, you're going to grab, there's a pack that has 4 of these guy wires, and they have little metal rings on one end. You're going to want these rings together. You're going to take these, you're going to grab your awning pole, just like the other ones, but you're going to take this one and put this point up through this grommet here. And once you have that point through the grommet, you're going to take these and drop these rings over top. Then you have these little small buttons or adapters here. They're going to go right over top they're actually going to push down and hold those in place. What you're going to do is stretch out your awning. Then you're going to take these two wires here, or lines, and you're going to put these out just like you did with the tent. They're going to go out in a couple of different directions. They're going to hold your awning up in place. We opted for the optional screen room floor on this particular tent. A lot of times we like to spread out. We may want to throw our gear out, and it just kind of gets stuff off the ground in case anything is wet. On the screen room floor, it's pretty heavy duty. It's kind of like a tarp, but it's cut and stitched the same shape as what the screen room is. What you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're just going to undo the stakes on the corners of the screen room. And also we undid the stakes on the corners of this side of the tent. Once everything's set up, we're just going to lift this up and slide this right underneath here. Now that you have this slid underneath the screen room, you're going to take this loop here on the end of the floor, on the corner of the floor. You're going to take the loop here on the corner of the actual screen room wall. You're just going to run your stake through that, through this, make sure everything's nice and snug. You're going to stake it down. You're going to do the same thing in the center there and on the other side. Then we're going to go inside and we're going to kind of pull this snug, and we're going to get all this staked out inside there. And we are ready to camp. Everything's set up, everything's nice and neat, everything's tied down. We've got the perfect spot. We can give you a quick walk around, let you look at this beautiful tent. One last thing, this is a tip from us. When you open your lift gate, oftentimes your interior lights will come on, and if you're not careful, that will drain a battery. So we figured something out. Instead of trying to take out fuses, install switches, it just gets overly complicated. It doesn't have to be. Just go and get you a cheap little carabiner. Nothing fancy, doesn't have to be anything really strong, just a little small carabiner. What it's going to do is going to take the place of your liftgate latch. Now this one, what I did was I just used some paracord and I made a little wooden pole with some eye bolts and attached a flag to it, just so we won't forget to take this out and cause any damage to the locking mechanism. But all you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're going to take that, push that in. It's that simple. What that does, it's going to cause your interior lights to time out, and you got a nice little flag here too. But also, like I said, that serves as a reminder to take that out before you try to close your lift gate. We've enjoyed it. We are ready to spend the night in this thing. This is just a super nice tent. It's simple to set up. Got a lot of room to spread out. In fact, we're going to have to get some more camp furniture. I feel like I'm in a vacant house. But anyway, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.